Wagner had spoken to the team earlier today about moments and opportunities, and I thought he was absolutely spot on because there were moments and there were opportunities. And so this one stings badly. The team is absolutely so all in for one another, and I love that about them, how tough we are. And so it should sting. And these are the ones that you got to look back, you got to learn, and I also said we got to turn quickly. So with all that said, glad to get rocking with you guys.
Does your message after the game change at all, considering the quick turnaround, how long you want you guys to feel that sting versus getting ready?
I did. I said this is a 24-hour rule, and so we got 24 hours. By the time we get in for tomorrow afternoon, we've got to clear it and we've got to go. And so we hadn't talked a lot about next week in the previous week, so they know what's ahead, and we'll be prepared for that.
And then on the 3rd and 9 where St. Jude's gets beat for the touchdown, what's the call and the coaching point there, given the situation, and also how much the frequency with which Pittsburgh throws those 50-50 balls deep?
Yeah, it's one of Russ's great parts of what he can do. Is really good throw and catch, and if you have to battle and compete to go, that's ball, and we can live with that. So just another example of fighting. I thought he threw good pass and good catch. And we got to turn back into it, but nothing that was unusual about the call or any of that.
Obviously, Pittsburgh is a really good defense, but what were they doing successfully to kind of maybe take the passing game out of the rhythm?
Thought honestly, John, in the run game, they also had some really good run-throughs. I thought linebackers were aggressive and tackling and caused some of the negative plays to put us into some longer downs for 3rd down. So I thought that was one thing. As far as disguises and zones and that to go, they're driven so much by their rush, so they had some pressures, which maybe they had added a few more. And when they added some players back into the mix, I certainly felt their energy and defensive style come into life.
You've been high in a lot of things with this team all along, but did you learn anything today, even in a game like this, the way it went?
I said I love what they stand for one another, and I don't know if I learned that, John, but it was confirmed again. And so I was hurting for him. The locker room's hurting, but there's also these lessons that we have to apply to know that we do have to learn from them and go on. And this just happens to be that lesson comes back quickly as we get into our next game.
For Johnny Newton, I mean, obviously they wasn't the sole mistake in the game, but coming off that one at the end of the game, what is your message to him? Just get his confidence up and especially going into it.
Yes, that's a scenario on that one where we call it, do they even have a play up, to work the cadence? But man, we have so much belief and love for this guy, and so it was a hard mistake. It was one to learn from, and as it goes, those are hard ones. Like you said, there's other plays in the game that come up. That one just happened to showcase it more at the end, and for sure, this is the type of player that is hurting from it and going to learn from it.
And then the defense as a whole, they had some really huge plays, but also some costly mistakes. And what is the key to just finding some consistency there, you think?
Well, I love that we were able to get the ball. We thought that was going to be one of the real margins in this game. So the interception by Jeremy and then the fumble recovery with the forced fumble by Quinn, I thought those were kind of the plays within the game that we thought would be game-changing ones. Let's give credit to Pittsburgh too offensively. They've got some real weapons in their space too. So we knew it was going to be a really hard fight. But I thought defensively, especially early on 3rd downs, made some good stops. So I was very pleased with that.
Injuries are always part of the situation, but you guys had a few coming in, then some more in the game. I guess how did that affect you guys, and then what was the situation with Andrew before the game?
With Andrew,
Sure.
Yeah, we got a big crew that we roll deep, and it gets difficult when you have to manage some of those scenarios. And so for Andrew, his shoulder just wasn't quite up to being where it needs to be to have the confidence to go play at the level we can. So I think you've seen that example from Adam and I and the team that we're going to make the best decisions for the player first, and that was the case to here. And so we'll see what that looks like this week, Ben, for him. It does give opportunities and moments for others. With Cornelius being down as well, kind of moves into Trent into that spot. So we'll see what it looks like for this week, and same thing with Brian.
And you guys have had played well, but a lot of breaks going your way. You only had 3 turnovers coming into this. It kind of felt like this game maybe, luck or not, breaks just kind of went the other way. Did it kind of feel like a little bit different compared to some of the other games?
I don't know, man. We were having a lot of fun early on. Big plays to go and big hits. I thought Percy Butler, covering the kick to push it all the way down there. Those are like real energy moments. This was going to be a battle at special teams. You guys knew that. I had talked about that during the week. Field position, the ball, the tackling, those were all going to be at hand. So I love the energy that the guys bring. They're tough. and we're going to continue to grow. And I think we got a lot more under the hood.
Dan, were any of the injury decisions that you made based on the short week and the division game and the magnitude of it on Thursday?
It was not. Nope, it was all relative to this game. And so everything was just for this one.
And then there was a play, I think they were at their own 43 with like 10 minutes to go. Looked like when Harris got hurt before the 4th and 1, he may have fumbled on top of the pile. You were talking to the refs during the stoppage.
Yep.
Did you look at challenging that? Or
We did, yep, and there just wasn't a clear enough one to go. Was he down by contact, blowed, and so that's where it came down to, and I'd asked them that. So we ended up not challenging. There just wasn't a clear enough one to go, and that's really where we have to go by. You know, if it's clear, it's worth it, but if it's not, you know, then we're going to need those timeouts. And so when it's clear, we'll absolutely go take our shot.
Coach, I know it's just 1 point, but do you think, and you said you have to continue to learn from this, do you think this was any kind of fair measure of where your team is and where they want to be?
I would hope that the missed opportunities are the lesson to apply, because I thought, you know, it was just maybe a little uncharacteristic. I thought maybe a few drops, maybe a few plays that weren't quite like us. I love that we were in this kind of fight. These are the kind of ones that you need to build some resilience and some resolve. But we are establishing that kind of toughness and identity that we want to be about. But as far as a measurement, I knew this was going to be a tough game. Knew they were coming off their bye. We were coming into it. They played well. They've had some changes with Russ at QB, and so they've really been effective running the ball, you know, over the last 3 weeks. So that was one that we knew we had to stand up and make some plays. So it played out probably like I thought in terms of how they would go attack, but the missed opportunities on this one stings the most.
Let's take 3 more.
The 2 games that B-Rob's missed lately, obviously against very good NFC North defenses, Ravens and Steelers here. Are you surprised by the drop-off in run production just because your starting running back wasn't there? Or are you hoping for more from them?
Yeah, these guys had played run game well, and so I knew that it was going to be some tough sledding on some downs, and you still have to stick to those for the play pass to come around. So once we got into, I thought it took all the way into the second quarter, that 17-play drive to get it and then get the ball again to go in. I felt like that's where we could shift it, and that's where we could go. But we'll dig in, take a hard look at it. He's certainly a factor, the size, you know, what he can bring downhill. So we're hoping, you know, that turn has been made, you know, heading into this week. But I'll have a better sense for as we get closer to the game.
Coach, Lamade Zacchaeus muffed a couple punts early on. What did you tell him after those, and what went into the decision to keep him out there on subsequent returns?
Well, I thought first one, hey, clear the mechanism, you know, to make sure that play's done. What did you do from it? You know, got too high on me, so, you know, got into his pads. He works really hard at this, at the punt returning side of things, and so we all have a lot of confidence in him. But that's what I told him.
Got time for 1 more? We're good.
What did you make of just the overall chippiness of the game? Do you like that?
Oh, I like it. Yeah, I thought it was going to be hard. I mean, I know Mike well, and this is a tough team, and I knew it was going to be a really hard fight, man. So I love him. I love what he's about. So I knew it was going to be tough. We got a tough crew too, and so I wanted to make sure that we established, you know, who we are too, and say we had to prepare for them, but they also had to make sure when we got to the game, like they also had to deal with us, make sure we play physical and go after it and tackle. So we got lots of work to do, Nikki, but from an effort and mindset standpoint, we're gaining on that. And we're not where we're going to be, but we are gaining on that.
Jayden, obviously, tough loss there. How did the locker room respond to everything after that game?
I mean, it stings. And you can see that the guys are very passionate about wins and losses. And it means something to them, matters. So that's where I kind of took away. It's like, hey, everybody's mad. It matters to them. Like, there's nothing we could do about it. We could just go on to the next.
Offense never really seemed to get into that efficient flow you've had all year. What did Pittsburgh do that kind of messed that up?
Yeah, I mean, hats off to them. You know, just a great scheme that they had. But, you know, we didn't make the plays and opportunities when they presented itself. So from there, it's like, man, going down, you know, maybe if I make a throw, we make a catch, something like that. But they just have a very good front, like a really good front, and they try their best to get their guys one-on-one. So that's kind of what they did the whole second half.
James, did you feel there were maybe more wasted or missed opportunities today than another day?
Do I feel that way?
Yeah, did feel more missed opportunities, whether you maybe not making the catch, but you
For sure, yeah. I mean, anybody will say, watch the film, that we missed some opportunities. So it was for sure something that we left out on the field, but it's nothing we can do about it now, but just move on to the next and get better.
And what, I guess Sam addressed it, Kazi addressed the team after the game. What did you take from his message to you guys?
I mean, it hurts, and you can see that it hurts guys in the locker room. So main thing is like, man, these guys care about winning, and it matters to them.
Sometimes a game it comes down to one big player too, but this one it felt like maybe it was like the little things on either way that made the difference. You kind of feel that just the little things that kind of maybe got away today.
I mean, the little things always add up. Everybody sees just the one big thing and one big play, but it's the little things that add up. How we could have executed the drive before. Maybe, we didn't kick a field goal in that second half. We go down and score, it'd be a different game. So it's just little things that always add up to the game. And I got to go back and watch the film and see where we're at with our details.
Is there one big thing that stands out to you that you learned today, or anything that you feel like you can take forward?
Playing good teams, man, you got to capitalize on the opportunities. And that's for the whole team. They're a very good team, very good, well-coached team. And obviously it showed today.
And how are you feeling, and do you still feel any lingering effects from that ribbon?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's still there, but it's nothing that's holding me back. It's something that you got to go day to day with.
Jay, one of the things Russell said was great organizations learn to love not only the process, but they learn to love adversity.
Yeah.
You guys this is an adverse week coming off a loss, you got a short week, you got to go to Philly. What do you expect to see from your guys during this week and getting ready for that game?
Just like you said, enjoy the process, love the process, learn to fall in love with it. Wins and losses are gonna happen in sports. I mean, everybody can't be perfect. It's somebody else's day that day. So, just how can we go back and bounce back? How can the guys shift their attitude from a loss to a short weekend? How can we go out there and get better for our Thursday night game?
I know that you have a lot of different people that you look up to, or that you've taken advice from over the years. With Russell's excellence over a decade in Seattle, what do you take from him? How do you look at him as a quarterback in this league?
Yeah, I mean, what he did at Seattle and his tenure in the league, man, it can't go without notice. Guy that puts in the work, guy that loves the process, that fell in love with the process, and it showed today. I mean, he made plays when the plays needed to be made.
Jayden, as we were talking to Johnny Newton, and he was talking right at the moment about how his teammates were supporting him when you walked up. I don't think you heard, and you gave him a high five of support. Just talk about, we've all heard about the brotherhood, but why that's so important in the moment, on this week, and just in every.
Yeah, it's not all on him. That's what everybody's gonna see, just that one big play, but it's not all on him, and we're all together. We got his back, no matter what people outside the building are saying or are thinking. Man, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's in the building and how we love each other and how we support each other and have each other back.
Jayden, I remember after the Tampa game that week, you told us that you don't like to lose when we asked you about bouncing back from it. Games like that, games like the Ravens game, this game, these losses, how much more do those motivate you in terms of what this team is trying to build a bigger picture?
I mean, I don't like losing, so I don't want to feel like this feeling. I don't want to have losses. I'm competitive. I want to win in everything I step foot and I put my mind to. So I wouldn't say it's any motivation. It's like, man, how can I go back to work and kind of get this feeling out my system? That's win, lose, or draw. When we win, I want to keep winning. We lose, I don't want to lose. I want to win again. So I kind of have the same approach.
And with that, are you glad that you guys are just turning around and playing on Thursday already?
I mean, it's quicker to go out there and get this out your system. So I guess you could say that. But if we was playing on Sunday, it's going to be the same thing for me.
Take two more.
Jayden, in the locker room, everybody was talking about the 24-hour rule. What's the first step for you to get over this and move on to Philly?
Watch the film and chill. Watch the film, chill, watch football, play video games, move on to the next.
Last one.
Did you guys knew this would be a tough game coming in. Did they do anything defensively that surprised you, or was it basically what you expected?
That was what we expected. They do what they do, and they do it well. So it wasn't no surprise.
Ben, last one.
Jayden, on the pass to Noah at the sticks, it looked like it was right there to give a sense, and you would feel like if he'd gotten that first one.
Which one?
The one
Birds, I mean, sorry.
The Zach?
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I can't really see where the sticks were or where they marked them. I just seen he was open. I got to throw him the ball, so it's up to. I don't make those type of decisions. All I can do is control what I can control.
Appreciate it, Jay.
Appreciate it.